This video will cover the steps to perform a forced reload via ScanTool version 3.1.3 for the following products. ORiNOCO AP-9100R, the Tsunami MP-10100 series, the Tsunami MP-10100L, the light series, and the Tsunami XP-10100 series. A quick note, as the reset works at the bootloader level, VLAN configuration will not impact this procedure. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cover how to do a forced reload on the ORiNOCO and Tsunami products that we've mentioned. All right, just make sure that the PoE is directly connected to a PC and not to a switch, as this procedure is not going to work if it's directly connected to a switch. Now, with every other forced reload, you are going to need a few things. One, you're going to need a TFTP server. Okay, I have SolarWinds TFTP here. And you're also going to need the image itself. Okay, so as you can see, here is my image. All right. Now, each TFTP server could be different, could be the same, but the configuration here is similar. Just make sure that you have the your TFTP root directory, which in this case it's TFTP root, pointing, and here is my image. Okay, and that is basically that. Now, one important item I have to mention is that when you're doing the forced reload using the ScanTool, you have to make sure that the radio is directly connected to the NIC of the PC, not to a switch, not to a router. It has to be directly connected to it. Okay, as it states right here, very, very important. If not, its process is going to fail. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the process itself is quite simple. Go ahead and select your radio. And let's go ahead and do a quick scan. Okay, so this is my radio right here, my 835. Just go ahead and push the reload reset button. Okay, it tells you, again, it must be directly connected to a PC through Ethernet. Okay, and you must have the ability to power the radio on and off. Okay, so either directly from the PoE or from the power source, but you have the ability to directly turn it off. So let's go ahead and click OK. Okay, so as we're looking here, you're going to see a reload and a reset. Okay, we already covered the reset. Let's go ahead and cover the reload. Go ahead and push the reload button. Going through a process. Here it is right here. Ensure boot P TFTP server are configured. We're going to turn it off. We're going to click OK, and then we're going to turn it back on. Okay, so now all it becomes is a waiting game. Okay, reload request operation, waiting for device to respond. Now remember, because we powered it off and powered it back on, the radio has to go through its boot cycle. Okay, so now it's initialized successfully. If you see this, means we are successful in the process. The beginning processes of the forced reload. All right, so there it is right there. The reload operation triggered successfully, and we could go ahead and close the window. So now the rest of the reload process will just be fairly similar if you're familiar with Proxim products. We're going to have to wait a few minutes until the radio is going to reboot, and we're going to use the scan tool to scan it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the radio is back. We did a rescan, and it popped up here. All right. Now, the way that I know that the radio is in the forced reload state is when you highlight the radio, click change, you're going to see the TFTP server and the image file name available. That is available, means that the radio is in the forced reload state. There is no firmware on the radio. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to set it to static, enter your IP information. Okay, now this is going to go back to default 169 after the image is loaded, but we need all this so it could bind in the IP stack. The read-write password is going to be public, and then your TFTP server IP address, that's going to be the IP address of your NIC. Typically your TFTP server is going to bind to that, and then of course your image file name. The best way to do it is, so there's no typos, is just to go to wherever the image is. You could go to right click properties, or you could just go rename and then just do a copy and paste. Okay, and then now that right there is the easiest way to make sure that that there is no typos. After you're done, just go ahead and click OK. It's going to reboot. Now what we should see is same information as we have here, where it says started and then completed. Now this process takes about a minute or so because it has to reboot. It has to do the boot P. After boot P fails, it starts looking for a TFTP server. Once that's completed, then once again we're looking at another 2 minutes or so until the radio reboots again, and then we'll be able to use the scan tool to detect the radio again, and then we'll be able to change the IP address and reboot it. So as you can see here, there we go. We started, we completed. Now the radio is rebooting. We're going to wait. There's 2 minutes. Once again, once that's done, go ahead and click rescan, and what you'll see is the information that was previously before the TFTP server IP address, and the image file name is no longer available. It's going to be grayed out. Okay, so I just did a rescan. You can see our radio is back. If I click change, as mentioned, the TFTP IP address and the image file name, they're grayed out. That means that the radio has an image. Now we could go ahead and just set the IP address, mask, and gateway. Read-write's going to be public. Click OK. Radio's going to reboot. After another 2 more minutes, you will be able to access the radio via HTTP.
To learn more about Proxim Wireless and our solutions, please visit us at proxim.com or follow us at Twitter @Proxim.